Gotcha. What's up? This is Opinion Hated, where we deal with the situations of experiences men them been through while they been through the joint. I am your host, Ray Man.
They call me Big Low.
And you know we gotta keep it popping, man. We got some special guests in the building tonight. We want to go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Tell the people who y'all are so they get up on y'all.
I'm Felix Mitchell, the billionaire.
Okay. Who we got over here?
I'm Joan.
June, that's what it is, man. It's all Ken folks in the building, man. You know what it is, man. You know we came to have a little bit of fun and talk a little shit at the same time, man. That's what it is. First of all, before we get into the spiel, man, we want to let it be known, June did his time in a federal institution. You know what I mean? You the first Fed brother we done had on here, so, we really got to get off into that and get the people some of that. And, Fee, you been through the feds or just the state? Okay, just the state? Okay, that's what it is then. Go on get the people, let them know what y'all went in for so they can have an understanding for what y'all was dealing with, how much time you did and all that.
You want to start?
Okay, yeah, I'll start on off, yeah. I went in possession, gun charge. They gave me 15 years. I did 15 years. Flat.
You said they gave you 15 and you did 15.
Flat.
Straight up, man.
You know what I'm saying? The federal system is a 99.6% conviction rate. That means
they never lose.
They never lose, fellas.
Yeah.
Never lose.
So, you know what I'm saying? Be careful.
What exactly needs to go for the feds for?
Possession.
Drug charge.
Gun charge.
Yeah. Ain't no playing with them cases, man. They be tripping. Ain't it something different in the feds, though, when you get caught with the guns and the dope together?
Yeah.
That's like an enhancer or something?
Yeah. Get enhanced, you know what I'm saying? They got, running consecutive.
What that mean?
That means, you know what I'm saying, whatever you might get 10 for the gun, 10 for the drugs.
Straight up.
85% on everything.
Yeah.
So you're going to do 85 for your first 10, you're going to do 85 for your second 10. Ain't running concurrent.
Yeah.
Run them separate.
Separate.
Two different bids. Conspiracy,
guys, y'all hanging out doing y'all thing with partners. Conspiracy, carry 10 to life.
Just for thinking you got something to do with
So
something.
how do they get you on? How does that work? How does the conspiracy case work?
Conspiracy really carries 2 to 3 people. You know what I'm saying? 2 or more people. So, that's just
when
saying.
2 or more are gathered in his
2
name.
or more gathered in some.
In the name of the game.
So for the people that might not know what conspiracy is you hanging with somebody, they think you might know something. You don't exactly have to know nothing, but they think you might know something. And bam, they can get you for conspiracy.
Yeah. You hanging around with your big partner. He doing his thing. Look out.
That come out for them taking pictures and
taking
watching,
pictures, you riding, you kicking it. You know what he doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You either tell or you don't take that ride.
Exactly.
Sound like a dirty game. A nigga don't want to be involved.
It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game.
You know why y'all sitting up here throwing these rocks at these places y'all don't want to be, man. Start thinking about what you're doing when your next move is to be made.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You got to, because you lose too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all guys, the only thing that stand by you in the feds or penitentiary state is your parents.
Straight up.
Y'all want to say these honeys, they gone.
Straight up.
They rolling with the next man.
You know they rolling with the next one, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight
So,
up.
you know, you lose a lot. Your kids, you know, can't grow up with them. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, gun violence with the youngsters now. You know, they ain't got no father figure in jail.
Nobody talking about it.
Nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just think about all that, man, you know.
Speaking of that, man, we had a crazy case just, I think it was yesterday. A young kid stabbed a kid at Northeast Middle and killed this young man. And we talking about stabbing. That's up close and personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As you feeling that knife go up in there. I don't know what made that young man go that
That's
route,
penitentiary
but he
stuff
had to
right
seen
there.
that somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had to seen that somewhere. It's crazy.
Well, you know, they on that music too, man. You know, see, I ain't never tell. You don't know the story, right? See, I had a what is it, 7 years old? He told me he don't listen to my music because it's trash.
Yeah.
So I said, damn, so why my music trash, peeps? What can I do to make it better for you? You know what I'm saying? This little dude, he told me it ain't violent enough.
Ooh.
I said, what the fuck?
From a
I
7-year-old,
thought you was
man.
gonna say it had too much violence. He said it ain't
He said
violent
it ain't
enough.
violent enough. I said,
You
so
ain't
this
got
is-
no bodies in there. You
know, they
man.
want killing this and killing that, drill this, drill that. And, you know, that's what's tearing their minds up. But, you know, we looked at a video a couple of weeks ago of the music industry executives having a meeting like 25, 30 years ago. And their objective was to let the people let some of the heads know that are some of the executives that are part of the companies know that the companies are invested in prisons.
Yeah.
So therefore, y'all need to only sign people that's gonna make this type of music that's gonna send youngsters to prison, have them growing up and be ready for prison. And I see that's what it is. They're accomplishing their goal, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly right.
We got to get past that, man. It's a lot of things out here we need to be doing, man. Like having these kids and growing these families, man. And taking some of our people to places that they ain't never seen before, and man, everybody ain't ready for that though. That's why it take guys like y'all to come in here and share y'all experience and be able to give the people something that they don't know about so they can know this is not what it is, man. You do not want to be eating Zuzus and Wham Whams on visits, nigga, while you with your peoples, man. Taking pictures up back there against that screen back there. That's not what it is, man.
Eating cup soups every day.
Eating
Ain't
cup
what it is,
soups,
man.
you hear me? That's not what it is.
But it's still not a deterrent, though.
It don't seem to be it, do it.
Yeah, I mean, because it seemed like, you know, you went through it, you all right. You know, you seem to be all right. I went through it, I seem to be all right. And you know, so it's like they say, it's like a rite to passage. So how do you discourage?
You know what?
But you know what? This breed,
before.
this generation ain't bred like we was.
Uh-huh.
We wasn't bred to withstand that, but you did.
Uh-huh.
These people now, these new generation, they lay soft as medicated cotton, man. They used to their woman taking care of them. You don't even see them pumping gas, opening doors. They ain't y'all was able to make it through it because y'all was almost bred for it.
It was a level of independency coming from us during our generations. You know what I mean?
But we was on that player stuff, and I think we was probably one of the first generations to actually annex ourselves from our women. You know what I'm saying?
I can go for that.
Because, you know, you say like how, you know, opening doors and all of that, that wasn't our generation, that was our parents' generation. And that was something that we just totally abandoned.
But we knew better.
Yeah, we knew
We
that.
knew we couldn't supposed to open the door.
So I guess that probably even make it
Now
even
they
worse.
don't even want to do it.
But we still did. I mean, we still did that, and we didn't promote it. You know what I'm saying? Even in our music.
We did. You
So
right.
when you talk about the music, and we look at that, and I do believe that the music, the message in the music, is it has a whole lot to do with how it shapes our society. Because, like they say, art imitates culture, and culture imitates art.
Exactly.
But and so what you have is when we first started doing music, we came in. Of course, they had "Fuck the Police." You had Ice-T. You had Eazy-E. You had the Ghetto Boys. You know, you had like you say with Cops kill kids. Kids hate cops. You know, and so the music was still had a violent message, but when we got involved we was being players about the situation. And then we went from being players to being pimps. And then we went from being pimps to being outright gangsters. And now, you know what I'm saying? It's just all. And if you really look at the music, you will see how the different phases of it, how it's really shaped our behavior, the behavior in our community.
I believe that. You know what I'm saying? No, like, see, even with that being said, you know, you into the music, I'm into the music. I kind of made a vow to myself, like, that I wouldn't continue to make that kind of music no more. You know what I mean? Now I try to step it up as far as, like, not even trying to send a message, but just do something like a feel-good type of thing. You know what I mean? If it ain't nothing but some club music, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that's not what the young people want. The young people want you to talk about killing. So they can ride around with their guns, do whatever they got to do for that, you know, handle all that bullshit that come along with life.
We need more educational music. That's what we need.
Yeah. You get back to the Chuck D's and stuff like that. You say entertainment.
I mean, it's out
That's
there.
That's what it is.
It's out there, but the thing is, it's so much music out there, and it's being crowded. So you got to really desire it, and you got to fish for it. You got to search for it.
Right. It's not really available.
Find it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. What's the reward for it?
Right.
What are you being rewarded for? Do the community encourage it? Do they support it?
I don't think they do.
Exactly. So just like how your son, when you ain't killed nobody in your song, when you ain't said no cuss words, when you just trying to just offer them straight up game, straight up instruction, they like, man, it's lame.
Yeah,
they don't want to hear it. So and then that becomes discouraging as an artist because you're like, okay, this is my platform. This is how I eat. But if what I'm putting out there, they not accepting it because it's a whole nother diet. So it's like basically what they used to say, you know, you got to give them what they want with hopes that they want what you had to give.
Right. You know, one of the dudes I remember that really kind of like put that in my ear first was Tupac. And he was like, man, I'm going to give them what they want, catch their ear, and then I'm going to lace them with this game and get them what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a real thing, man. I think it still can happen, though. You know, but it just takes a certain person or a certain individuals. Because just the old anybody coming up out the streets, they're not going to be able to do that like that. But it'll take a motherfucker that's like, we can say industry bound now. Somebody for them to just change the game and jump on to something different to take the people and lead them to that water, man, that they need.
But that's a slippery slope even. Because when you, it's like reaching, trying to pull somebody who's drowning out. And have you ever tried to save somebody who didn't know how to swim?
It's a struggle.
That's the it's something that you don't do.
It's a struggle.
You don't jump in the water
they
with
train
them.
you to knock them out.
Yeah.
And then save them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
they train you to do.
So when you see a person that's out here drowning and you try to save them, you will lose your life too. You know what I'm saying? If you really don't know how to do it. The best thing, sometimes you just got to stick that pole out there and have them grab hold of the pole and pull them in. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they ain't got that, if you ain't got no extension, nothing to no adapter or nothing to reach out there to them, then you running that risk. And that's where the sacrifice is. That's where the love. You got to love them enough to be willing to jump out there, and because it depends on who it is. You let them jump out. You jump out there. Depends on who it is. That's where the question is: which one of our children do we go out on the limb for? Because we only got one life.
Yeah.
And if we got 1,000 kids running around here, we can't jump out here every time. We only got one time to do it. And we got to decide which one we're going to do it for.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
With that being said, do it take the whole group of individuals that got that same mind concept? You know what I mean? Because it could be just me and you saying that and me and you acting on that. But if we change the minds of a whole lot that's like us, maybe it could be a bigger mass to be reached.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, word of mouth still one of the powerful way to reach the people.
Yeah,
word of mouth. You know,
I can go for that.
And through the influence, through the word of mouth, it's also the action. Like they say, the audio and the video. Like my uncle said, it has to pair up.
Yeah.
How many times have we watched the movie, you know, and we see the visual, but then the audio, it don't pair up. Yeah. And it's frustrating and it's irritating. Makes you not even want to watch it. We'd rather put it on mute. Yeah. We'd rather open up the caption, you know. And so now because our words have power, and that's very important.
Words are very
But our
powerful.
actions are just as powerful.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like one of the things like when I was in the community pushing when I was running for office. Now, it wasn't just me. I wasn't running for me. I'm running for the community. But how do you make these guys aware of the fact that they in trouble? And you got, man, we got to act now, but they don't even know it. They don't even see it.
Yeah.
So that's where the struggle is. Like Harriet Tubman, like that, how they talked about, you know, how many slaves that she had saved. She said, man, I could have saved a whole lot more. I could have freed a whole lot more slaves only if they knew that they were slaves.
They knew.
So it's like in a situation where we don't even realize how much trouble we are. And that's why in the Quran, like they say pain is a mercy. Because when you don't feel nothing, you don't even know. You don't even know you're in trouble. Just think if you had your hand sitting over a fire and the fire just kept blazing and burning.
Feel no pain.
And you don't feel nothing, you'll be singed. But as long as you got that pain, you can be like, oh, okay, these sensors. That's what, and, that's something like my guy, Dave X, you know what I'm saying? He's up to that. That's how when we rotate on Fridays and stuff, when we do the coupons and all of that, that's what we get. That's, and so stuff, like I say, man, and that's some stuff going back to the joint, what's inside.
Yeah. I know about it. I did 13 years.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Matter of fact, when I was coming through the county, you was coming through the county on your way home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, not awesome but that's how things go full circle.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you was going in when I was coming out.
Yeah.
Now, when I went in, I was coming in off the end of an era where things was beginning. It was going into the new generation. I came in at the dawn of the prison industrial complex.
Yeah.
So when you came in, it had already been settled. Yeah. So some of them prisons that had just been built up was ready to get shut down already.
Yeah.
And so, but the gelling, how we was gelling, it was different. It was so much mental when you came in. Yeah. So what was your,
for real, when I first came through there though, my whole mindset was it's wartime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be physical or it's gonna be mental, but I think it's gonna be both. And so, it
versus who?
Everybody, the COs, the motherfucking inmates, these niggas gonna be trying to get me. They gonna try to do this. Everybody. It was against everybody. So when I came through my first day there,
yourself as one of them?
Yeah, I know. I probably needed to, because my first day there, I started sharpening shit, thinking that's what I had to have up in there. You know what I mean? But it took like dudes like Dave, you know what I'm saying, and Marcus X and them, you know what I'm saying, Theo and them, man, they calmed me down. They took me, my mindset to another place and helped me see what it is that I was missing. Because everybody don't get a chance to come through the joint and be able to fall in with a group.
Just think about the people that
you
didn't
know
have
what
that
I mean?
opportunity to fall in.
I fell into it with some good dudes, man, that really kind of like put me on point and showed me how to jail, man, and then it just kind of followed suit. I tried to give it to some of the other people that came through there. That's a good thing, though. See, when you came through there, you went through the old walls.
Yeah, I was at the walls. It's a museum now. They call it the bloodiest 40 acres.
The bloodiest what?
Bloodiest 40 acres.
Why they call it that?
Because that's all it was homicides. And I mean, the population, I think they held like 3,000 people it was like a city within a city. And man, it was treacherous.
It was places around
there
where the guards wouldn't even go.
Yeah.
It was places where the guards wouldn't even go. Oh,
I mean, literally, people be dead for days up in there before they get found. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was crazy like that. Yeah. And what's crazy is things have come full circle, because that's like, where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like back, and I say it in the weirdest way, but, back then they used to have, they still have them, but they used to have the banquets and all of that. Yeah. My father, he had been locked up for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's, I'm like, bless his heart, a son of a bank robber / cop killer is what he went to prison for, And so, But on them food visits and on them banquets, you know what I'm saying? They get in there, and next thing you know, here come little dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I come right through the same places where I used to visit my father at. Where my mother was going to visit, you know. And I mean, it's crazy. And then he came to visit me.
Can you see his go? Because I remember there's plenty of mothers, though, that never wanted to bring their children into the prison. Do y'all think they got something to do with it? They didn't want them to be seeing this place, and then something psychologically clicks to where they feel like they got to go through this place.
I believe at that time it was a stigma and it was psychological, and because the culture of prison at that time, I mean, just the culture of the world at that time, it was different. The technology and all of that. So yeah, I can understand why, because they still had the scared straight programs and all of that, and it looked like prison. You had prison bars. You know, you had stamped numbers on your. You know what I'm saying? You looked like you was in prison. Today, they don't have prison bars. They're not bars. They're doors that got little bitty windows in them, slits. You know what I'm saying? It's air conditioned, but it's isolation in such a way where it's just
air. It's air only at the level 5s, ain't it?
Man, no windows opening, no fresh, no real nothing.
Oh.
Everything's artificial and processed.
When that motherfucking summertime cook, boy, you don't want that. Boy, I'm telling you.
And not only that, you also got to understand, as time go on, they continue to make different rules to restrict different things.
Yeah.
See, back then, they used to have pets and stuff.
Yeah.
They used to have this and that and the other, you know? And, you know, they used to have people coming in, used to have boxing championships and all. I was performing. I was doing concerts and stuff at the walls. They don't have that no more. Now, they do have some things that we didn't have. What, cell phones? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, you know what I'm saying, which is a different type. But compared to, I mean, I'm not glorifying none of this, but I'm just saying it was more physical at that time. Yeah. And back then, you had all different type of things. You can almost break anything and turn it into a knife or a weapon. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's so hard to create weapons out of stuff. I mean, you always can create a weapon out of anything.
Always
can be
can.
a
It's
weapon,
always going to be the creative
saying?
people, but you know, they limit the way the canteen is.
Yeah.
They limit everything that you
how
can
things
get
work
in order
and how things is moved and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Your submissiveness.
They got cameras and
Keep
stuff
your head
everywhere.
down type shit.
Well, I mean, you know, they don't give you the same thing. Like when he talking about versus when I was in there, it was like, it's like they'll give them cans of food.
Care packages
you know
and
what
stuff.
I mean? But
set up like
we
the
don't
army
get
or
no
some
cans.
stuff.
Our shit is like in a rip open pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not only that, you got to look at your guards. Back then, they used to have to do training and stuff like that. When I was going out, it was little old ladies, retired ladies that came back, and you know what I'm saying? And it was so mental. That was controlling big guys like you.
Yeah.
Big guys like, you know what I'm saying, come in, locked down with a pen. And guys is scattering and running. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even got to be tough. They can come to work pregnant and everything.
Yeah.
And seeing back then, you know what I'm saying, when the women was working there, you know, it was very rare that you had a woman officer. And if it was a woman officer, it was because she was really tough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she acted like a man, looked like a man, was tough like a man.
Yeah.
And the only one, but you also had nurses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They was always getting pregnant. You know what I'm saying? You had cooks and stuff that was always getting pregnant.
That's how it goes. That is how it goes.
With all of these cameras, I don't know how it would happen. You know what I'm saying? And with all of these haters, I don't know how it would happen. Yeah. But I'm sure it still does. But you had inmates that ran the joint. They did the books, they did the moving. Listen, man, when I did intake, they asked me, they said different prisons were, you know what I'm saying, which was my options. And it was only 2 of them because I had to be level 5 because of my custody level and because of the time I had. Once I got there, it was the inmates. They decided what housing unit I went to. I went straight to the honor dorm. Straight to the honor dorm. So but once I got kicked out the honor dorm, that's when prison life really began.
Yeah, because it's
it was prison before that.
It's a different ball
but
game.
I really I was like, man, they are gelling for real in the honor dorm.
Yeah, you got way more leeway.
You're not locked down all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got access to phones. You got rec 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just a different. And the COs, they got a different attitude because they more laid back. They dealing with people who's, been there forever. And they like these people. They don't get in trouble. These are the good old boys. You know what I'm saying? They dangerous. Mm-hmm. These are the same ones that didn't work their way, slick their way to the honor dorm. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you leave that honor dorm, man, way of life, man, the prisons, the cells are smaller. You can't even do a push-up in your cell at the walls. You couldn't even do a push-up in the cell. And it can really touch the back of your can really, you know what I'm saying, with a small stick touch the back of your cell. You know what I'm saying? And snatch anything that you had in there, out of there, that'll fit through the bars. You know what I'm saying? You can get beat between the bars. You know what I'm saying? In your bed. Just like that. It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So just think, man.
Put hands on you just going by your cell, huh? Reach right in that motherfucker because your bunk got to be right there if the cell that small,
And now when I get out, I see people who can't get along in a household. But I remember these small cubicles. So just imagine not being able to get along with a person in the cubicle and you locked down and you gotta smell their farts, they stinky feet, you gotta deal with them when they get their Dear John letters. You gotta deal with them when they, you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with all of that. When they took a loss, when they hear the bad news and all of that, you gotta deal with this attitude that this dude got on top of his life sentence. Yeah. And what we used to say, nigga, fuck your feelings. Nigga, get out your feelings, nigga. You in your feelings today? Nigga, fuck your feelings, nigga. I got life too. What's up? They be like, oh, what you on, nigga? I'm on the same shit that got me here, nigga. Damn. And what got me here, nigga? 4, 5 bodies or half. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, that's what I'm on today. You gotta wake up with this nigga.
Like that, rehabilitation.
You gotta wake up with this nigga though. You know what I'm saying? So think about that, and then you get out of here and you wanna, you know what I'm saying? But they don't understand all the time. So that's why you say when you locked up, that's why guys like Dave X is my brother and all of that. Because when I'm going through this shit, and they pop the doors or whatever, and I gotta go out to eat, and they see that long ass face look on my face, and they like, man, I'm like, man, this nigga here, boy. I'm in this nigga, man. I don't give a why they really trying to torture me, put me in the cell, but this nigga myself, one of us gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, man. And can't nobody help you. You can call your mama. You can call your cousin, and can't nobody help you in that situation. Can't nobody counsel you off the ledge like that. Yeah. Can't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but them people that's right there around you. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm dealing with you. You remember the cellie I had. And then you might be talking to the same nigga that you couldn't get along with in the cell. But y'all cool once y'all ain't in the cell together no more. Y'all the best of friends, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as y'all get in the cell together, man. But it's a different type of bonding and it's a different type of brotherhood that people don't understand. And then, like you say, man, these guys, man, already got 10 in, 15 in. Mm-hmm. Just got a possibility for a parole date on his life sentence. And now on the yard some bullshit with his partner. And he's like, damn, I got to ride for my nigga. Damn, man. Man, we got to go, man. You know I just had my hearing. You know I just got a date, but fuck it. Niggas who put their dates on the line for you, man. How can you not gonna love these niggas, man? How is these niggas not your brothers?
See,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think a lot of people do understand that some of the bonds that you build in that motherfucker from going through whatever y'all had to go through, man. Niggas done been through all type of shit in that motherfucker. And that nigga that was right there to his right every time, the nigga never forget that, man.
Well, I'm in the federal system, so you know, when you're in the federal system, you're going to be all over the world. So we all Kansas City. We in the car.
How that go, though?
We in the car now. We in the car. You from Kansas City, everybody Kansas City ride together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all my dudes from Kansas City come through the door, they my brothers. I don't look at no one no different. Yeah. Because if I look at him that I don't like him, that might be the one that saved my life. In the war. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's my brother. I'm going to ride for them, they're going to ride for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that go up in there.
That's just like an automatic thing?
It's an automatic thing, man. Yeah. We all ride together. You from Kansas City, you going to ride from Missouri.
Man, just thinking we had that same mentality out here, though. You know how strong we be, man? Yeah. Dang, we had that same mentality you just said in there. No matter what, you from here, we going to be ride with you.
Got to.
Okay, so how did it happen when the big, because I know as much beef and much cutthroat city, killing city. So what was it like when them guys ran into each other in the feds? I know what it was like in the state, but what was it like in the
They
feds?
got to overlook it.
Got to drop that
They
beat.
got to drop it.
Now, who's to decide if they? I mean, because the nigga.
Yeah, that's a good.
Sometimes it's
I'm
hard.
not-
Sometimes
I'm
it's
not doing
hard.
fucking with that nigga.
Sometimes it's hard, but you got
Yeah.
to, because like you said, that might be the one you don't like.
Yeah.
Might be the one to save your life. You might be walking back from child. Three dudes get on your head,
Yeah.
and he saved your life. That's the one you don't like. He got to.
They killed
if
your
he
brother.
We
They
got to take
killed
care
your
of him.
sister. They
And
may
if he
have
don't
murdered
fall
your
in line,
son.
then what? What if he don't fall in line and he just ain't with it?
They gotta
He
get
by
him.
himself.
He by himself. I mean, he can go by himself, but most of the dudes go by themselves. Don't stay on the yard too long.
So they look. Yeah. I see that.
You know?
I see that. Now,
From Kansas City, you come through the door, you rolling with Kansas City.
Now I always heard this, like when you come through the feds, like say I come through the feds and I touch the yard, I gotta bring my paperwork out to show everybody my paperwork.
Yeah,
That's how they go.
Yeah, that's how that go.
Yeah.
Make sure you're right.
Yeah.
Make sure you're right.
Yeah,
Straight
because it ain't no
Matter of
secret.
fact, I started USP Terre Haute where they killing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't touch your mail because your paperwork coming in the mail. You can't touch the mail till your paperwork come.
Straight up.
That's how we did. You can't touch the mail till your paperwork come. And when whoever's running the car right there, he gonna grab your mail when the paperwork come. He gonna read it. He gonna take to some other guys. He gonna read it. He gonna come back and you cool now. Now I can get my mail.
Straight up.
I can't touch my mail till the paperwork come.
In that order.
In that order.
In that order.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that system.
So how would it go down in the state? That
Now,
same
in the
situation?
state, man, in the state, it's a lot different. And guys, they do, some guys, they hide their paperwork and stuff like that. But it still ain't no secrets. People know about you.
People
what I'm
know
saying?
about you.
So, but they care in the state. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you are. It's the type of person, because you really don't need no group of people to get your time to survive in the state. You can mind your business. But the thing
Everybody
is,
done said that same thing.
but
that
this is the
came through
thing. What people forget, man, them habits, them whole habits die hard, them addictions and all of that. So when you get locked up, all them games you used to play in the streets, you still play them same games. So if you a fugazi, if you a goofy ass dude, then that, you know what I'm saying? And it's showing, and you got some people that's just waiting for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but when you're in the state, them same addictions, them same habits, them same desires is what's gonna get you wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? If you like to chase these drugs and all of that, because it's available for you. If you was a sex addict out there, that shit gonna get you wrapped up. And just think, like I just said, it ain't no women in there. So your sex addiction gonna turn to something different. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna look a whole lot different in there with it. So what I'm saying is, them same habits, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, they don't always check in at the door. You know what I'm saying? All your knives and stuff, your guns, your cars, your jewelry, and all of that. You gotta check that in at the door. And then hopefully you might get some pictures or something, and you can tell your war stories, and then you can lie about this and that, and then put the whoop on the wop and all of that. Unless you got somebody that's a witness.
Definitely
like
be a
that.
whole lot of that.
Yeah, and that's how they do.
But one thing I noticed though, what you said though, the way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of dudes will drift towards your way, you know what I'm saying, and extend their hand to you based off of the way you carry yourself. You know what I mean? And some, of course, because of where we at, you always gonna keep an open eye to be wondering what the intent is and all that. But you got some genuine dudes, man, that wait for you. They see that you're not on that goofy time, and they be like, well, okay, this brother here got something. Yeah, let me see if I can install a little bit of something different in, because they ain't never going home. Yeah. So they trying to offer as much game to get back to the streets as much as they can.
You said they ain't never going home, so they thought this is a new day, this is a new age. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
I know.
They popping the locks on them doors. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm loving it. Man, never, like when I was growing up, I didn't meet people. I wasn't being raised by people or being able to have relationships with people who did like 20, 30 years in prison. Yeah. Now, I probably knew people who did skid bits, what they call skid bits, like 3 years, 7 years, because that's what they would give you back then. But then I'm talking about a serious life for a person that really did 30 calendars. You know what I'm saying? And being, I mean, it's a different psyche. You know what I'm saying? And so when they come out here, and I done seen a lot of guys, come out, after they been blessed with their freedom, and then they make that mistake, and they go back. So it's just so hard, man. Just staying free. you know, praise God. You did
Sit up
13.
there.
I've been out 13.
Sit up there.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason I've been out is my patience, by the grace of God, all day.
Yeah.
But it's them times I program myself so much, and I always think about them days I sat on my bunk and I thought about what I would do to just drink a cold beer. What I would do to just
Little things.
Just little things.
yeah, what I would do to ride the metro. I'm like, man, put me in McDonald's, man, full of bitches, man. I'm working, you know what I'm saying? Better than working in the kitchen with all of these
Better than
niggas.
working in the
You know what I'm
kitchen.
saying? Nigga gotta smuggle onions and meat and shit through his drawers out the shit through the house
was
and all of that.
smuggling hamburger. Y'all seen
Nigga, getting
What is,
paid.
what is that movie called? The Longest Yard.
Man.
And the new one where Terry Crews be like, I got them cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Nigga,
out
it
his
was
drawers.
really like that.
That's
You
how
pull
it
out that
is.
waistband.
And you
the
eating out of a nigga
yeah.
drawers.
And-
So
and
if that's
niggas
if you
buy
like
that.
eating out of a nigga drawers, because that's what was happening. If you want to eat good, because
wanna
your
eat
seasonings and all of that had to get smuggled out of the kitchen,
Definitely did.
and it got smuggled in the nigga drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely
Your
did.
weed,
The
we call them
hamburger
colostomy bags. Sometimes niggas swallowed the bags, and they had
right.
to shit it out.
And they got to shit it out.
And then they had to dig it out. What they say, the shit you got to go through to get your money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did. That's what they did. So just think about it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what
I mean, it's a grimy game.
Now, this is what I didn't understand about the Fed thing, though. How do they decide where they send you in the country?
They don't. It's all in the
toss-up.
It's a roll of dice.
It's a roll of dice.
Damn. Straight up.
You might start all the way in West Virginia somewhere. You might start all the way in Indiana. I start in Indiana. You might start in Pennsylvania. You might start in New York.
Yeah.
I mean,
You ain't going to
don't
start
know
at
where
home in your backyard.
You
That's
ain't
for
gonna
sure.
go in your backyard.
you don't know where you gonna start at.
Yeah.
Wow.
They send you everywhere.
Straight up. Now,
So-
they got higher levels and stuff, too.
Yeah, I
like
started USP. They got Death Row USP, medium, low, camp.
What's USP stand for?
United States.
United States Penitentiary, yeah, something like that.
Hey, but the thing is, the physics is different because Pops was locked up, right, when he was in the feds.
Right.
So when Moms came to visit me, she can just drive, she can gas up.
Right.
When she go visit the Pops, she got to get a plane ticket.
Right.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
was
So,
way
and that's a
outside.
big difference.
Yeah.
So people, if your woman is kicking down, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They got to be superstars and celebrities. They don't have to be, but normally that's what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You either a superstar, celebrity, or at least like that where you from in your hometown.
Right.
To have that, and then, and that's again, who was it kicking down the door? It wasn't your boo thing.
No.
It wasn't that girl that you was hating on niggas about. It
Mama,
wasn't that
your
girl
daddy,
that
your
you
grandma.
that what you was choking out and that you was. It ain't her.
It ain't her.
It ain't her.
They might have came to one food
You know what I'm
visit,
saying?
but that was
Yeah.
it. You hear me?
Yeah. And I'm not saying that they
Shit.
won't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they won't do it and that they not never there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying who it be. It be them little old prayer warriors. The little old prayer warriors that
Prayer
show
warriors.
up for
I
you.
don't know where I'll be without
You know what I'm
mine.
saying?
Keep
that
praying
that
for
send
me,
you
y'all.
10, 20 on your books, baby.
Right.
You know
You'd
what I'm
be
saying?
surprised what
That
you can
answer the phone just so you to use the three-way and to set the phone down for
And
you.
you know that's one of
You
the
know what I'm
reasons,
saying?
though. That's one of the reasons why so many dudes end up going to go get that big old woman, or that woman that just is not desirable to the masses out here, and they try to treat her like a queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with them when they get home.
Yeah. I mean, I tried that, man.
Yeah.
I tried that. I mean, it wasn't no big one. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wasn't no. But I said, man, I'm just so grateful to be out, man. And man, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna love, man. Whoever give me, boy, they gonna love it. Boy. And so, and it just so happened, you know what I'm saying? You can't fix crazy with duct tape. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And that's what happens. They will. I'm telling you. And so, and that's what it was. But I learned so much, man, just because I had never had them relationships. Like I said, when we we was keeping it player. You know what I'm saying? We kept it player, and it was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I bumped you by a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Even, man, it was so, that's why I say, man, as fathers, man, we really got to step it up. And it's a whole mantra. It's a whole nother, it's a whole nother record that we gotta play. It's a whole nother message that we gotta put out. Cause you know how when we was, it was like, man, catch me if you can after I knock. And so But the reality of it, when I got that letter in prison, man, and that girl said, you don't remember me, but back in 94, 95, we had a fling, and it turned out that man, when I got a son. Man, I'm like, man, I'm sitting in prison with all this time. I'm like, man, I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no legacy or nothing like that. And then I get this letter. And after, I'm like, man.
But how
so
you
I'm
feel
like,
about
man,
that, though, right? Because the thing is...
I felt stupid,
you know
and I felt good. I was like, man, why couldn't I be this way when I was out? You know what I'm saying? Just like how my mother used to say, I'd rather, instead of trying to pay for lawyers and stuff, I'd rather be visiting you in college. I'd rather be, you know what I'm saying, paying for, paying that off or whatever. You know, and because, like I say, man, I learned in there. That was my college.
Well,
you know,
I don't mean to interfere in what you're talking about, but like I said, Jeffrey, Raymond, the guys, they had the brains growing up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They had the brains, good grades, everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I knew they would go somewhere,
happened.
and they doing their thing now. You know what I'm saying? Good guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. And then you see, so how just like how we was talking about the teenager at Northeast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do we get off track? And then how do we make that connection? Cause you even said something, man, that made so much sense, and I'm still trying to understand how we can make that translate out here into society in the free world. But you was like, man, everybody in Kansas City was my partner. That was the person that might save my life. But out here, it don't translate like that. So when I got to tell these people, like some niggas, I run into people who I was locked up with, and I'm like, you so-and-so. I know your daddy, I was locked up. I remember pictures of you as a little girl in the visiting room. You know what I'm saying? And so, but they don't know, they may be out here beefing with my children.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Been through
And
that.
they don't understand that, look, it's going to hurt me to know that my partner's son was murdered. And then to find out it was murdered by somebody, one of my children, or what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What can I say to my partner after that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, to add on top of that, then you're going to have, we might be cousins.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then we got our kids, and then our kids don't ever come around each other and nobody and nothing like that. So I might have baby over here, baby over there, baby over there. Now, one of my sons then came to try to holler at his sister, came to holler at his cousin. That's how my daddy met his half-sister. Yeah. My daddy met his half-sister because he pulled up on her trying to holler at her. Yeah. Damn, girl, what's your name? You sure look familiar.
Thank God my grandma
What's
knew.
your daddy look? What's your daddy name?
My grandma, and a whole lot of other shit came out the bag that day too, but that's another story.
You see what I'm saying?
And
that's how it be. So it takes a lot of effort on our behalf, on our part. But you know what I'm saying, we gotta bridge the gap, and I believe it starts going back through that music. Meeting them where they at. Seeing where they at. And pulling them, showing them some other options.
The music can change. It can change the industry. The young folks, older folks too. Yeah. It changed your thinking. It can change your mind frame of thinking. That's what the music does, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we go with the flow with the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we like feel good music. We like music that, you know what I'm saying, people got a lot of good songs, but the thing is, they don't have that bag behind them.
Right.
So when you got somebody who like, man, I like your message, I like what you're doing, I like what you putting out, then I'm gonna give you a scholarship for your recording. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay for this, I'll put you on like that. And see, people don't realize that this is how you really get in, and this is how you get on, this is how you get through. But they figure, hey, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do it on my own. Yeah. I'm gonna get me a deal. I'm gonna get hot. I'm gonna get seen. I'm gonna do me some shows and all of that.
Like that.
Even the radio music ain't the same no more. The things that they saying on I'm like, man, you think
you could never say all that shit back 25 years ago, man.
I'm like, boy, y'all just letting them how they way, ain't y'all?
And it's all about design, though, man.
It's all about design.
They made
pushing their agenda.
Yeah, they put the plan together to destroy the culture, and so therefore they had to put different parameters in place to make sure shit went the way that they wanted to be. And now we seeing the manifestation of what it is. We got one of the guess you could call him one of the hottest rappers or whatever he is out there. And dude is kind of like on a different level. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But everybody, we don't see it like that. He still get his support. I don't downgrade nobody or none of that. You know what I mean? You free to do whatever you want to. But when you push it in the face of the kids, man, that's coming up under the culture, man, then that's what I got a problem with. Yeah. I don't want my kids having nothing pushed in their face. Don't push no drugs in their face. Don't push no sexuality in their face. Don't push none of that in their face. Let them make their own decisions. Yeah.
It's called child abuse is really what it is.
That's what it
Mentally,
is.
Yeah.
Mentally child.
Yeah. And so, it takes, so it would take, you know what I'm saying, guys like us who do have a voice, who really ain't afraid to go in. We like the firemen.
Yeah.
Because we can go into these heated sets. We can go into these heated situations and diffuse them, de-escalate them. We can tell a guy, be like, man, whatever you got on your mind, whatever you thinking about doing, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, a thought can make 20 seconds can make all the difference between the rest of your life. Yeah. Where you know what I'm saying?
Where you think. Just stop and take a second to think about it, man.
Where you think you want to be.
Definitely right.
And so, you know, that's one thing, like I said, and I push the music. Yeah, I still, you know what I'm saying, I still get in the trenches, throw on my hard hat, and then I rub it out with them. You know what I'm saying? I spar with them, and I'm going to do that because I still, like I say, I'm one poor choice or one bad decision from, you know what I'm saying, from that same old behavior. So I gotta really, sometimes it's necessary for me to watch somebody do something stupid just to remind, man, boy, I probably would have done some stupid ass shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
What I can say about you though, Fig, you a prime example of coming out, handling your business.
Yeah.
The man in politics, man.
Yeah.
You know, started from nothing into politics. Went to jail, did his time, come out. He's in politics, man.
You know, at one
a
point
prime
in time,
example. So it can happen to any of us, guys.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? We go down, do our time, come on back out. It's just the education you want to, if you want to use the education that you got, put it in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't do it, but now we are. A lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? That's why we got a lot of black stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Black, what I want to say, entrepreneurs. Everybody's investing in things now. I'm talking about women, men. You know what I'm saying? You know, we putting the money where it need to be. We putting it back in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And things like that, you know what I'm saying? We got the education. We using it now, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely think the town changing.
It's changing, man.
I believe that's the most important thing that you said, like, you know, investment, you know, because they always talk about stakeholders, and, you know, if I feel like I'm a part of this, I feel like this is mine, then I'm gonna treat it different.
Don't treat it different.
And not only that, when we see people with businesses and stuff like that, with storefronts, they less likely, not saying that they won't and that they don't, but they less likely to be out here in the community kicking up a ruckus. Why? Because I can't be beefing with you because I got a storefront, I got a place of business. And whether I want you to come or not, you know where I'm stationed at. I don't want you bringing that foolishness to my storefront.
I'm handling business.
So everybody who got a storefront, for the most part, they not out here in that bullshit because everybody, they know Kansas City. We'll bring, and you know how petty they are, just like with the girls. Them girls that come and bust your windows out and raise your insurance up, or flatten your tire, do a whole bunch of petty, irritating stuff. It's what these guys do. You shoo a homeless person away from your store the wrong way, then you gonna have problems. He gonna spray paint your car. He gonna do a whole bunch of little petty sucker shit. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, when a person has their business or their storefront or whatever, you know, and they stakeholders. If a person is a stakeholder, especially in the community, then they're gonna be more responsible for holding it up and taking care of it.
I can go for that. I can go for that. You know, that's why I say one of the things is like, you know, even if I got like these kids in my neighborhood, I'm able to have a discerning eye to be able to see that they might not have a certain figure around all the time. It's not up on me to make sure that I take them in and do it, you know, give them as much as I got, but I can give them something every now and then just because that's how it's supposed to go, man. You're supposed to teach You supposed to teach these people, man.
Right.
These little young ones, man. You supposed to teach them to do something different than what it is that they already know how to do. They not gonna get that from no schooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they not gonna get that from no TV. They not gonna get that from the music. So it takes somebody to show them something real.
Yeah.
After telling them something
That's
real.
why I say we need to break that mentality. Game is to be told, not sold. We're supposed to help each other, man.
And this younger generation, guys, I ain't gonna lie to you, is a lot smarter than our old generation.
Yeah.
They got the technology, man. They go. I got little nephews go through the phone, 2 or 3 years old. Boop, 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 boop. Go hit
Yes, I
YouTube.
promise.
They a lot more advanced than us, man, because the technology is here for them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But some of them just use it in the wrong way. Some of them.
That's
You know what
all.
I'm saying?
That's
I think
all.
one of the most important things is like, you know, showing them that we care. You got a real
right.
big problem with suicide out here, right?
Right.
And then you got another thing, what they call suicide by cop.
And it didn't
You
used
know
to
what
be
I'm
in the
saying?
black community like that as much.
Yeah.
It didn't.
As
It was
much.
in the white community.
Yeah, that's
It really was.
But you also have suicidal behaviors. Even if a person ain't taking their own life,
Yeah.
they may live so reckless
Yeah.
and so foolishly that, you know what I'm saying? That, man, this person is the problem. You know, we got to get them some help. And that's another thing that we overlook. We overlook the mental health. You know what I'm saying? And the mental conditions of our people. You know what I'm saying? And our children. So, in order to deal with them and to reach them, what I found, because they always say, hey, you know this and you know that, and they don't ever want to listen to me. The only thing, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when they see, out of all the people, they be like, oh, man, they call me Mr. Jeff or Phil or whatever. They be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Every time I see them in passing, you know what I'm saying? I got to speak to them. You know what I'm saying? And I got to treat them like they adults. I got to treat them like they the next presidents. They the next, you know what I'm saying? I got to treat them like they're going to be my caretakers. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what God got for them. You know what I'm saying? But I know God got something for them. And I want them to remember me out of all them people that was like, you know, that kept on and judging them and doing this and that and the other. I want them to know that, look, first of all, I took the time to, you know what I'm saying, to acknowledge you. And I do recognize, and you got something that you can offer me, and I got something I can offer you. And together we can build this community. Because you got, as you go through, it's some things that you want out of this community. It's some things that you want out of life. And there's some things that the community is going to demand from you. And there's some things that your life is purpose for, you know, and then helping them figure that out. You know, it ain't my job to say, hey, you need to be doing this, but it's my job to say, hey, look, it's something in you. You need to dig it, you need to get that. And if I can help foster that, then I will do that if I can help you. You know, but other than that, man, you know, these guys, they like to use the children. They like to, because they do what they call it, the child labor and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, they do you like that.
Well, you know, I think we touched on some good subjects tonight, man. You hear me? Just to put y'all in the mind frame of what it is for a person that's dealing with, you know, experiences in life. You never know what nobody been through. You never know what it is that they did, seen, heard, or been a part of. So if you could just take the time, man, and just soak up a little something from somebody else, man, it might go a long way. It might be perfect timing in your life. You never know. You know, it was good talking to y'all, man. You know what I mean?
Day.
I feel like we could do this 24 hours.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't stop. You hear me? There's so much experience in this room, man. You did. I just want to say I appreciate y'all for coming, man.
Yeah, appreciate you for having us, man.
Yeah. You know, with that being said, y'all know tonight we got the karaoke tonight, right? Trap karaoke down at the Climax, man. 4242 Indiana, man. Y'all pull up and fuck a bit to them, man. And then tomorrow, you know, we got Emails in the Crew. Right after Emails in the Crew, they got a podcast tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so right after Emails in the Crew, we got 2 Broke H.O.E.z. You know, they're going to be in here getting on their ratchet time. Then next Wednesday, you know, we got Big Tut and all the rest of the fellas, man. They're going to be in here for the Tree Blue preview, where you can check out the hottest artists in the city, man, to see what's going on with the town, dealing with the music. You know what I mean? Other than that, man, y'all know Casey Apollo's always every Monday night at the Climax, man. Y'all pull up, man. Show your skills, man. I don't care if you're a musician, a comedian, whatever it is you do, man, pull up and show your talents, man. Pull up to the climax, do the KC Apollo, man. It's going down. Cash prize for everybody that wins. You did. Other than that, this is our show, man. Opinion Hated. I'm Ray Man.
I'm Big Low.
And we out here. Peace.
Centric.